Drones attacked one of Russia's key refineries in Afipsky village. NATO reports why F-16s handed over to Ukraine especially valuable, and about Trump's advisors in Munich, what their talks on Ukraine may signal. That is news next. Last night, on February 10th, drones attacked Krasnodar and the Afipsky oil refinery in Krasnodar Krai, Russia, according to Andriy Kovalenko, head of the Ukrainian Center for Counter and Disinformation. As Kovalenko explained, the Afipsky refinery is one of the key refineries in Russia with a capacity of 6.25 million tons of oil per year.
Вот и началось по Краснодару.
Садимся все, поехали.
Валим. Дроны в дом в Краснодаре.
Все зацепляют, все работает. Ну, в смысле, работают службы все. Все, полицейских очень много. Короче, вот такая вот сейчас ситуация здесь. По пострадавшим сейчас будет, сообщу, будьте аккуратны.
The refinery plays a strategic role for the Russians in providing fuel for military equipment, especially in the southern direction.
Its location in Krasnodar Krai makes it an important logistics center for the supply of diesel fuel and aviation kerosene used by the Russian army. That's why the Afipsky oil refinery is not only an industrial facility, but also an important element of Russia's military infrastructure.
Russia's strike on Ukraine on the night of February 10th. On the night of February 10th, Krasnodar Telegram channels complained about a drone attack. In particular, Russian media claimed that drones were spotted near the city of Slaviansk-na-Kubani, where air defense was operating. According to eyewitnesses, at least 10 explosions were heard during the attack. There were also reports online of a drone allegedly hitting a residential building in Krasnodar Krai because of the air defense operation. The F-16 aircraft that have joined the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine have enhanced the country's ability to counter Russian missile and drone attack. Chairman of the NATO Military Committee, Admiral Giuseppe Cavo-Dragon, told Army-Inform.
F-16 aircraft, which have joined the Air Force of Ukraine, have strengthened the ability to counter Russian air threats, intercept enemy aircraft, and deliver effective strikes on military targets.
He noted that fighter jets are particularly available in countering missile and drone attacks. At the same time, the impact on the situation at the front depends on sufficient pilot training, maintenance capabilities, continuous supply of weapons, spare parts. NATO, for its part, facilitates the training of Ukrainian pilots and technicians. It also provides logistical support to ensure maximum efficiency of the F-16. Delivery of F-16s to Ukraine. In 2023, the UK and the Netherlands announced the readiness of the United States to support the training of Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighters. Later, Washington stated that it was also ready to support the transfer of the aircraft to Kiev if the fighters were not used to strike Russian territory. This week, Europe will host several international meetings attended by key members of Donald Trump's team. The biggest expectation from the Americans is their plan for ending the war in Ukraine, or at least an outline of their vision for the peace process. How Ukrainian and European leadership will seek contacts with Trump's team in the RBC Ukrainians report. The activity of the United States, Ukraine, and Europe to end the war is reaching a new level. Even before Trump's inauguration, RBC Ukraine reported that his team lacked a clear vision for ending the war. The US president's advisors have come to realize that the situation in Ukraine is far more complex than, for example, the Israel-Gaza conflict. Moreover, Ukraine and Russia have too much agency for a simple solution. Their only general possible outlines: freezing hostilities and postponing Ukraine's NATO membership. Last week, Bloomberg added further details, reporting that the plan may involve freezing the conflict, leaving Russian-occupied territories in an undefined status, and providing Ukraine with security guarantees that would prevent a new attack from Moscow. At the same time, contacts between most parties involved in the war have intensified. Ukraine, yes. The dialogue between Ukraine and Trump's team has sharply intensified since early February. The head of the Ukrainian presidential office, Andriy Yermak, spoke with Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz, discussing the battlefield situation, mobilization progress, and key challenges for Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that he is in dialogue with Trump's special representative on Ukraine and Russia, Kellogg, whose visit to Kiev is expected in late February. Trump mentioned the possibility of meeting Zelensky this week, but later, the Ukrainian presidential office clarified that contacts are currently happening at the team level. Ukrainian's leadership is trying to appeal to Trump's pragmatism. On February 3rd, Trump expressed interest in Ukraine's rare earth metal deposits, which are critically important for high-tech industries in the US. Currently, the vast majority of the world's reserves are controlled by China, Trump's main geopolitical rival. In response, Zelensky invited American companies to invest in Ukraine. Why? Because if this remains under Russian control, other countries and companies will move in, most likely Iran and North Korea, Zelensky emphasized. The Ukrainian government also publicly proposed other initiatives: investment in Ukrainian nuclear power plants and using Ukrainian's gas storage facilities for US natural gas destined for Europe. Most of these ideas are long-term strategies, but the gas storage proposal is something that could be implemented much sooner. According to Mikhailo Gunchar, president of the Center for Global Studies Strategy 21, this idea has been around for a while since the first commercial shipments of US liquefied natural gas to Europe. The first LNG tanker arrived during Trump's presidency in 2017, unloading at terminals in the Netherlands and Poland. Even then, there were discussions about using Ukrainian storage facilities, Gunchar explained. He noted that interest in Ukraine gas storage peaked in 2020 when 10 billion cubic meters of gas was stored there out of a total capacity of 31 billion. However, interest later declined due to security risks. Russian attacks have repeatedly targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Nevertheless, these are just proposals. It remains uncertain whether they can compete with what Putin might offer Trump. US, Russia. Putin can promise Trump as much as Ukraine, and probably more. There are plenty of points of contact between the United States and Russia, from nuclear weapons of cybersecurity to Russia's ability to influence Iran and North Korea. On all of these issues, the dialogue between Russia and the United States stopped long ago, but during Trump's first term, it was quite lively. Finally, we should not forget about the Chinese factor. Trump has repeatedly confirmed that talks with Russia are progressing quite well, just like those with Ukraine. On February 9th, he acknowledged having a personal phone call with Putin. A face-to-face meeting between the two leaders is also part of Trump's plans. According to Reuters, high-ranking Russian officials recently visited Saudi Arabia and the UAE, both potential venues for Trump-Putin summit. However, it is unclear whether Putin is looking for a quick resolution. At this stage, we do not see Russia seriously engaging in peace talks. British Foreign Secretary David Lammy stated at the press conference in Kiev on February 5th. Zelensky echoed this view, pointing to Russia's ongoing military buildup as further evidence that Putin does not want peace. Russia now has the time and resources to continue the war. As previously reported by RBC Ukraine, the Russian economy has been fully militarized and can sustain the war for at least another year. Meanwhile, Russian forces are making slow but steady advances on the front lines. According to political analyst Maxim Nesvitailo, Russia is stalling negotiations to see whether Trump's policies will be effective. Maxim Nesvitailo, a political analyst at the Center for Scaling Technology Solutions, told RBC Ukraine next.
The Russian Federation is determined to delay the negotiations as much as possible in order to see what will happen in the world and to see how effective Trump will really be, or whether his policy will stop and not produce concrete results.
This does not suit the United States, judging by the rhetoric of Trump and his team about the need to end the war quickly. So far, the US president has, on the one hand, expressed respect for Putin personally, and on the other hand, threatened tough measures. US-Europe. This week, several major international events will occur in Europe, including the Artificial Intelligence Summit in Paris and the Munich Security Conference. On this occasion, several representatives from Trump's team are expected to arrive. In particular, the visits of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Special Representative for Ukraine and Russia Kit Kellogg have been confirmed. While Vance's agenda covers a broader range of issues, from trade tariffs to the role of European countries in NATO, Kellogg's mission will be more narrowly focused. Trump's special representative stated that he will concentrate on discussing options for achieving peace in Ukraine, while a specific plan for ending the Russian-Ukrainian war will be presented personally by Donald Trump at a later date.
I believe that for Kellogg, this Munich Security Conference will, in many ways, be a very convenient opportunity to gather the opinions of European leaders regarding how they envision the end of this war.
For European leaders, the arrival of Kellogg and Vance carries significant importance. Many European capitals fear that Trump and Putin might arrange a new Yalta conference and reach an agreement without taking into account the interest of Ukraine and Europe as a whole. Mikhailo Gonchar emphasized in a conversation with RBC Ukraine next.
The biggest flaw, as I see it, in the American approach is the attempt to equate the aggressor and the victim of aggression. As if some kind of slaughter is happening, with two sides clashing. This immediately distorts the plan and gives an advantage to the aggressor. Therefore, in any case, this is unacceptable for us and Europe.
The significance of the risk of such a scenario may become clearer closer to spring. The key task for the Ukrainian authorities remains ensuring the continued implementation of the principle "nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine." That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.